A Domestic Violence Organization Guide. Chapter 1. DV Organizations. American DV Organizations. National Domestic Violence Hotline. PO Box 161810, Austin, Texas 78716. Office Line, 512-453-8117. SAJAN.org, Sibling Abuse Survivors Information and Advocacy Network, SAJAN. American Bar Association Commission on Domestic Violence. 740, 15th Street NW, Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-662-1000. Abanit.org/domvile. American Institute on Domestic Violence. 2116 Rover Drive, Lake Havasu City, Arizona 86403. 928-453-9015. AIDV-USA.com. Amnesty International USA, Women's Human Rights Program. 322 8th Avenue, New York, New York 10001. 212-633-4292. AmnestyUSA.org/women. Asian and Pacific Islander Institute on Domestic Violence. 450 Sutter St. No. 600, San Francisco, California 94108. 415-954-9988, extension 315. APIAHF.org/APIDV Institute. The Audre Lorde Project. 85 South Oxford Street, Brooklyn, New York 11217. 718-596-0342. ALP.org. The BWJP Criminal Justice Office. 2104 4th Avenue South No. B, Minneapolis, Minnesota 55404. 612-8248-1-800-903-0111 The BWJP Civil Justice Office. Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence. 6400 Flank Drive No. 1300, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17112. 717-671-4767/1-800-903-0111 The BWJP Defense Office. National Clearinghouse for the Defense of Battered Women. 125 South 9th Street No. 302, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19107. 215-351-001-/1-800-903-0111 The Black Church and Domestic Violence Institute. 2740 Greenbrier Parkway No. 256, Atlanta, Georgia 30331. 770-909-0715. BCD6.org. Bureau of Justice Statistics Clearinghouse. 810 7th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20531. 1-800-851-3420. ojp.usdoj.gov/bjs. CAF Organizing Asian Communities. 2473 Valentine Avenue, Bronx, New York 10458. Website CAAAV.org. Child Welfare League of America. 440 1st Street Northwest, 3rd floor, Washington, D.C. 20001. 202-638-2952. CWLaw.org. Child Help USA. 15757 North 78th Street, Scottsdale, Arizona 85260. 1-800-422-4453. ChildHelpUSA.org. Children's Defense Fund. 25 E Street NW, Washington, D.C. 20001. 202-628-8787. Children'sDefense.org. Coalition for Justice in the Maquiladoras. 4207 Willowbrook, San Antonio, Texas 78228. 210-732-8957. CoalitionForJustice.net. Equality Now. POG 20646, Columbus Circle Station, New York, New York 10023. Website equalitynow.org. Faith Trust Institute. 2400 North 45th Street No. 10, Seattle, Washington 98103. 206-634-1903, cpsdv.org. Family Violence Prevention Fund. 383 Rhode Island Street No. 304, San Francisco, California 94103. 415-252-8900, TTY 1-800-595-4889. endabuse.org. The Feminist Majority and the Feminist Majority Foundation. 1600 Wilson Boulevard No. 801, Arlington, Virginia 22209703522-2214. 433 South Beverly Drive, Beverly Hills, California 90212310556-2500. Website feminist.org. Graduate School of Public Affairs, University of Colorado. The Master's Program on Domestic Violence. 1-800-990-8227, extension 4182. cudenver.edu/gsbia. Hate Crime National Hotline, the Anti-Violence Project. 208-246-2292. Human Rights Watch. 350 Fifth Avenue 34th floor, New York, New York 10118. Website hrw.org. The Humane Society of the United States, First Strike Campaign. 2100 L Street, NW, Washington, D.C. 20037. 1-888-213-0956. hsus.org/firststrike. Insight. Women of Color Against Violence. incite-national.org. Indigenous Women's Network. 13,621 FM 78,726, Austin, Texas 78726. 512-258-3880. IndigenousWomen.org. Institute on Domestic Violence in the African American Community. University of Minnesota School of Social Work, College of Human Ecology. 290 Peters Hall, 1404 Gortner Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota 55108. 1-877-643-8222. dvinstitute.org. Jewish Women International. 2000 M Street, NW No. 720, Washington, D.C. 20036. 1-800-343-2823. jewishwomen.org. JIST Life/Kids Rights. 8902 Otis Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana 46216. 1-800-648-5478. jistlife.com. Lambda GLBT Community Services. 216 South Ochoa Street, El Paso, Texas 79901. 206-350-4283. Lambda.org. Legal Momentum. 395 Hudson Street, New York, New York 10014. 212-925-6635. NowLDef.org. Manavai. PO Box 3103, New Brunswick, New Jersey 08903. 732-435-1414. Monasix.org. Mending the Sacred Hoop, Technical Assistance Project. 202 East Superior Street, Duluth, Minnesota 55802. 1-888-305-1650. msh-ta.org. The Miles Foundation, Violence in the Military. POG 423, Newton, Connecticut 06470. 203-270-7861. Ms. Foundation for Women. 120 Wall Street, 33rd floor, New York, New York 10005. 742-1653. ms.foundation.org. National Center for Elder Abuse. 1201, 15th Street NW No. 350, Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-898-2586. elderabusecenter.org. National Center for Human Rights Education. epub 311020, Atlanta, Georgia 31131. 404-344-9629. National Center for Victims of Crime. 2000 M Street, NW, Suite 480, Washington, D.C. 202-467-8700. ncvc.org. National Center for Youth Law. 405, 14th Street, 15th floor, Oakland, California 94612. 510-835-8098. youthlaw.org. National Center on Domestic and Sexual Violence. 4612 Shoal Creek Boulevard, Austin, Texas 78756. 512-407-9020. ncdsv.org. National Clearinghouse on Abuse in Later Life. Wisconsin Coalition Against Domestic Violence. 307 South Patterson Street No. 1, Madison, Wisconsin 53703. 608-255-0539. ncall.us. National Clearinghouse on Child Abuse and Neglect Information. 330 C Street SW, Washington, D.C. 20447. 1-800-394-3366. nccnch.acf.hhs.gov. National Coalition for the Homeless. 1012 14th Street Northwest No. 600, Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-737-6444. nationalhomeless.org. National Coalition of Anti-Violence Programs. 240 West 35th Street No. 200, New York, New York 10001. 212-714-1184. ncavp.org. National Domestic Violence Hotline. epub 161810, Austin, Texas 78716. 1-800-799-7233, TTY 1-800-787-3224. thehotline.org. National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. 1325 Massachusetts Avenue Northwest No. 600, Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-393-5177. ngltf.org. National Health Resource Center on Domestic Violence. Family Violence Prevention Fund. 383 Rhode Island Street No. 304, San Francisco, California 94103. 1-888-792-2873. endabuse.org. National Immigration Forum. 50 F Street NW No. 300, Washington, D.C. 20001. 202-347-0040. immigrationforum.org. National Latino Alliance for the Elimination of Domestic Violence, Alianza. 700 4th St. Southwest Albuquerque, New Mexico 87102. 505-224-9080. dvalianza.org. National Network for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. 310, 8th Street No. 303, Oakland, California 94607. 510-465-1984. nnirr.org. National Network to End Domestic Violence. 660 Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast No. 303, Washington, D.C. 20003. 202-543-5566. northeastdv.org. National Organization for Victim Assistance. 1730 Park Road Northwest Washington, D.C. 20010. 1-800-879-6682. try-nova.org. National Resource Center on Domestic Violence. Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence. 6400 Flank Drive No. 1300, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17112. 1-800-537-2238, TTY 1-800-553-2508. nrcdv.org. National Runaway Switchboard. 3080 North Lincoln Avenue, Chicago, Illinois 60657. 773-8860-9860/1-800-621-4000. nrscrisisline.org. National Sexual Violence Resource Center. 123 North Enola Drive, Enola, Pennsylvania 17025. 1-877-739-3895, TTY 717-909-0715. nsvrc.org. National Women's Political Caucus. 1634 IST Northwest No. 310, Washington, D.C. 20006. 202-785-1100. nwpc.org. Planned Parenthood Federation of America. 434 West 33rd Street, New York, New York 10001. 212-541-7800. PlannedParenthood.org. Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, RAIN. 2000 L Street, NW, Suite 406, Washington, D.C. 20036. 1-800-656-4673-EXT3. RAIN.org. Resource Center on Domestic Violence, Child Protection and Custody. National Council on Juvenile and Family Court Judges. epub 8970, Reno, Nevada 89507. 1-800-527-3223. nationalqncilfvd.org. Sacred Circle. National Resource Center to End Violence Against Native Women. 722 St. Joseph Street, Rapid City, South Dakota 57701. 1-877-733-7623. Soroptimist International of the Americas. 1709 Spruce Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19103. 215-893-9000. Soroptimist.org. Stop, Inc. PO Box 1410, Poway, California 92074. 858-679-2913. StopDV.com. Violence Against Women Office, U.S. Department of Justice. 10th and Constitution Avenue, NW number 5302, Washington, D.C. 20530. 202-616-8994. ojp.usdoj.gov/VAWO. Women's Independence Scholarship Program, the Sunshine Lady Foundation. 4900 Randall Parkway No. H, Wilmington, North Carolina 28403. 910-3977-7742/1-866-255-7742. SunshineLadyFDN.org. National Organizations on Domestic Violence. Abuse Calls, How to End Domestic Violence in Your Community Kit, 800-777-1960. American Psychological Association. APA.org. American Academy of Pediatrics. AAP.org. Building Sustainable Masculinity. Workshops, coaching, conferencing around nonviolent masculinity. pipcornell.conf, 6/05. Center for Mental Health Services. mentalhealth.org. Child Welfare League of America. cwlaw.org. Children's Defense Fund. childrensdefense.org. Department of Health and Human Services. dhhs.gov. Family Violence Prevention Fund, 383 Rhode Island Street Suite 304 San Francisco, California, 94103-5133, 415-252-8900. Gay Men's Domestic Violence Project provides community education and direct services to gay, bisexual, and transgendered male victims and survivors of domestic violence. gmdvp.org. Institute for Mental Health Initiatives. imhi.org. The Institute on Domestic Violence in the African American Community, providing leadership to end/reduce violence in the African American community. dvinstitute.org. The National Alliance for the Elimination of Domestic Violence works to promote understanding, sustain dialogue, and generate solutions to move toward the elimination of domestic violence affecting Latino communities. dvalianza.org. National Association for the Education of Young Children. naec.org. National Black Child Development Institute. nbcd.org. National Coalition Against Domestic Violence Policy Office, POG 34103, Washington, D.C. 20043-4103. Don't list any books or links for men as victims and use he when talking about perpetrators and she when talking about victims. 703-765-0339. ncadv.org. National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, POG 18749, Denver, Colorado 802-18303-839-1852. National Domestic Violence/Abuse Hotline. A 24-hours-a-day hotline, POG 161810, Austin, Texas 787168000.799.safe, 7233, TDD, 800-787-3224, 7/02. National Domestic Violence Helpline for Men, Battered Men's Helpline. As a non-profit organization, we offer phone support, information, resources, and referrals to, primarily but not exclusively, male victims of intimate partner/spousal abuse and to those who care about them. Our toll-free number is available 24/7. We hold a yearly conference on male victims of domestic abuse, POG 252, Harmony, Maine 049428888.7 Helpline. BatteredMen'sHelpline.org or help@batteredmenshelpline.org or 207-683-2515, 56/86/88/92/93/95/97/98/99, 2/03. National Funding Collaborative for Violence Prevention. PeaceBeyondViolence.org. National Institute of Mental Health. nimh.nih.gov. National Latino Children's Institute. nlci.org. The National Latino Fatherhood and Family Institute brings together an integrated team of nationally recognized leaders in the field of Latino health, education, social services, and community mobilization to address an important area: Latino fathers and families. nlffi.org. National Maternal and Child Health Clearinghouse. nmchc.org. National Organization for Men Against Sexism. NOMAS promotes the cause of gender equality and social justice for everyone through its principles of pro-feminism, gay affirmation, anti-racism, and enhancing men's lives. nomas.org. NOMAS, Boston Chapter. nomasboston.org. National Resource Center on Domestic Violence or Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 6400 Flank Drive, Suite 1300, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17112-800-537-2238. Organizations focusing on prison rape. 6/05. Rapist.org/index.html !rapebusterpage/activism.html main. Partnership Against Violence Network. piavnet.org. Resource Center on Domestic Violence, Child Protection, and Custody, NCJFCJ, POG 8970, Reno, Nevada 89507800-527-3223. Sacred Circle National Resource Center to Stop Violence Against Native Women. Offers culturally specific materials addressing family violence in tribal communities. Circle at sacred-circle.com. The Smoking Gun. thesmokinggun.com or editor at thesmokinggun.com. Stop Abuse for Everyone. SAFE concentrates on domestic violence against straight men, gay men, and lesbian women. 415-472-3275. Or visit SAFE's Northern California website. StopTheAbuse.org, 7/02. Student Advocates for Education About Rape, Safer. inform.umd.edu/campus-info/departments/health/sexual-assault/safer.html. Students Empowering Women Against Violence, SWAV, University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire. uec.edu/asp/dc/org/display.asp?ID=102. Tulane University Men Against Rape, TMAR. tulane.edu/TMAR. Victim Services, Domestic Violence Shelter Tour, 2 Lafayette Street, New York, New York 10007212577-7700, 24-hour hotline, 800-621-HOPE, 4673. The White Ribbon Campaign. whiteribon.ca/educational_materials. Women Against Domestic Violence, wadv.org. 0 to 3. 0 to 3.org. Chapter 2. National Center on Domestic Violence, Trauma, and Mental Health Knowledge and Resources. National Domestic Violence Hotline. 800-799-7233, SAFE. thehotline.org. thehotline.org. Facebook.com/National Domestic Violence Hotline. Twitter.com/NDVH. Instagram.com/NDVH Official. Pinterest.com/NDV Hotline. YouTube.com/user/NDV Hotline. National Domestic Violence Hotline. PO Box 161810, Austin, Texas 78716. Office Line, 512-453-8117. National Domestic Violence Hotline Jobs. thehotline.org/get-involved/internships. careers-ndvh.icims.com. National Center on Domestic Violence, Trauma, and Mental Health websites. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org, National Center on Domestic Violence, Trauma, and Mental Health, articles and resources. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/training-ta/resources-for-mental-health-substance-abuse-providers, resources for mental health and substance abuse treatment providers. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/training-ta/substance-use-dv-sexual-assault-other-trauma. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/resources, links. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/resources/national-domestic-violence-organizations, National Domestic Violence Organizations. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/resources/state-domestic-violence-organizations, state and territorial domestic violence organizations. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/resources/Chicago-in-violence-agencies-and-organizations. Chicago and Illinois Domestic Violence Organizations. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/resources/state-mental-health-departments. State mental health departments. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/resources/national-mental-health-organizations. National Mental Health Organizations. National Centre-rdvtraumam.org/resources/Chicago-in-Illinois-mental-health-agencies-and-organizations. Chicago and Illinois mental health organizations. National Centre rdvtramam.org/resources/mental-health-consumer-recovery-peer-support-resources. Mental health recovery/peer support resources. National Centre rdvtramam.org/resources/mental-health-policy-and-advocacy-organizations, mental health policy and advocacy organizations. National Centre rdvtramam.org/resources/disability-rights-organizations, disability rights organizations. National Centre rdvtramam.org/publications-products/resources-on-trauma, resources on trauma. National Centre rdvtramam.org/resources/resources-on-child-trauma. Resources on child trauma. National Centre rdvtramam.org/survivors. Get help. National U.S. Domestic violence organizations. National Centre rdvtramam.org/resources/national-domestic-violence-organizations. National Domestic Violence Organizations. AmericanBar.org/groups/domestic_violence.html. AmericanBar.org/groups/domestic_violence.html, American Bar Association Commission on Domestic Violence. APDV.org, Asian and Pacific Islander Institute on Domestic Violence. ATASK.org, Asian Task Force Against Domestic Violence, Massachusetts and New England Asian Ethnic Populations. AssistaHelp.org, Assista, Immigration Assistance to Advocates and Attorneys who provide legal assistance to immigrant victims. BWJP.org, Battered Women's Justice Project, BWJP, Technical Assistance on Civil, Legal, and Criminal Justice System Issues Related to Violence Against Women, 1-800-903-0111. ucdenver.edu/academics/colleges/spa/Buchner Institute/centers/Center on Domestic Violence/pages/default.aspx, the Center on Domestic Violence. University of Colorado Denver, Academic, Research and Service Center based at the University of Colorado Denver. CSAJ.org, the Center for Survivor Agency and Justice, a national organization. Quavi.org, Community United Against Violence, LGBTQ, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer and Questioning Anti-Violence Organization. CAEPV.org, Corporate Alliance to End Partner Violence. FaithTrustInstitute.org, Faith Trust Institute, an international, multi-faith organization working to end sexual and domestic violence. FuturesWithoutViolence.org, Futures Without Violence Prevent and End Violence Against Women and Children Around the World. GMDVP.org, Gay Men's Domestic Violence Project. FuturesWithoutViolence.org/content/features/details/790, Health Resource Center on Domestic Violence, supports health care practitioners, administrators, and systems to improve health care's response to domestic violence. INCITE-NATIONAL.org, Insight. Women of Color Against Violence, a national activist organization of radical feminists of color advancing a movement to end violence against women of color. DVInstitute.org, Institute on Domestic Violence in the African American Community. JWI.org, Jewish Women International. Domestic Violence in the Jewish Community. LegalMomentum.org, Legal Momentum Legal Defense and Education Fund dedicated to advancing the rights of women and girls. Mingcava.umn.edu, Mingcava, Minnesota Center Against Violence and Abuse, educational resources about all types of violence. NCCF.org, National Center for Children Exposed to Violence. NCDSV.org, National Center on Domestic and Sexual Violence. NCEA.aoa.gov, National Center on Elder Abuse. NCALL.us, National Clearinghouse on Abuse Later in Life. The Wisconsin Coalition Against Domestic Violence created the National Clearinghouse on Abuse in Later Life, NCALL. ncdbw.org, National Clearinghouse for the Defense of Battered Women. ncadv.org, National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. nccafv.org, National Council on Child Abuse and Family Violence. thehotline.org, National Domestic Violence Hotline. 1-800-799-SAFE. dvalianza.org, National Latino Alliance for the Elimination of Domestic Violence, Alianza. northeastdv.org, National Network to End Domestic Violence. pcadv.org/about-national-projects/national-resource-center-on-domestic-violence.asp, National Resource Center on Domestic Violence, NRCDV. nwnetwork.org, the Northwest Network of Bisexual, Transgender, Gay and Lesbian Survivors of Abuse. northeastdv.org/resources/national-rgs/5-RCDVCPC.html, Resource Center on Child Protection and Custody. Resource Center on Child Protection and Custody. They. Resource Center on Domestic Violence, Child Protection and Custody, CPC. niwrc.org, National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. swclap.org, Southwest Center for Law and Policy, Legal Training and Technical Assistance to Tribal Communities and to Organizations and Agencies Serving Native People. victimsofcrime.org/r-program/stalking-resource-center, survivorproject.org/index.html, Survivor Project, Intersex and Trans Survivors of Domestic and Sexual Violence. usdoj.gov/ovw, U.S. Department of Justice, Violence Against Women Office. letswrap.com, Women's Rural Advocacy Programs.